All right, so in this lesson, I'm not going to go through the whole left hand to black pats for two reasons. One is that I can't play left hand on this harp. It's got the graduated strings and I'm going to play all the wrong notes. But the other reason is I always do like for you to have some time to play within some parameters and kind of find your own voice a little bit with the tune. So I'm just going to give you some quick parameters to mess around with, but then I'm actually going to teach you Dowds in this lesson. So just real quick, on black pats, I'd like for you to mess around with marking some really obviously correct pillar chords. And what I mean by that is the chords that are just not really movable. Like you might have a substitute for one. I'm not saying you can't ever vary them, but these places where you want to kind of gravitate, even if you vary between, just big, like I said, these pillar moments, these sort of immovable structural things that feel relatively obvious. For example, at the beginning of all the parts, just an F chord. So, F. C. You can go back to F here. So there I went A because it's part of an F chord. I feel like that's a pretty comfortable, kind of obvious. It's not a root position chord, but it's an F chord. And then when you come to that D, the Ds are sort of the interesting thing in this tune. They're almost always part of a B chord. So I did a B chord, and then a 5, a 7, a C7, which is a 5-7. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that. So I'm just marking 1s, 4s, and 5s. And I started off being very sparse, and then at the end I added a 4. So what I mean is I started off doing only 1, da 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 da, 5, 1, da da da, and then I added, first inversion, 1, 4, 5. So it just sort of made it a little more cool going up to the 5, but it was still just 1, 4, 5. And do that with all the parts. 1. This is, I think, still just a 1, so you can do a first inversion, 4 to 5, back to 1. So there I just did, again, 3, 4, 5. Now, the fun thing about the last part, and actually a lot of this, is the D kind of sounds nice at the beginning a lot. So don't hesitate to make some things. So what I did there is D to B. I did a little C passing. And then that's an F. And I'm doing an A, but I think it would be fine with a root position F. 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm not doing anything interesting. It's not by mistake that you can't really see my hand. I don't want you necessarily copying, just finding your own places to put 1s and 5s, and then as that gets really comfortable, you can add in some 4s. And if that gets really comfortable, don't be afraid of the 6, especially in the last part. It just fits really nicely. The reason I say that, this early with that last part, instead of thinking it as a variation, letting it kind of be a more common thing you do, is because you open up with this. It's almost built in to be a D minor chord. It's still an F. It's not now in D minor, but the D minor to the B just fits there very neatly. It just sounds like you're listening to the melody, not like you're always doing a variation. Okay, so mess around with those chords, 1, 4, 5. The actual meat of the lesson here is Dowds, which is the second tune in the set. So Black Paths is the third tune, Dowds is the second tune. This is also, as you go through, you feel more comfortable. So this is the middle one. think it's important to note that it doesn't have repeats, but the A part is the same thing twice. So phrase 1 and phrase 3 are exactly the same. Phrase 2 and phrase 4 are exactly the same. So it feels like a repeat, but it isn't. And I always like to point that out because I think when you don't go into the tune really knowing that, you feel like, well, the A part repeated. Now I feel like the B part and the C part should, but they don't, and it gets confusing. Every part is only 8 bars. So structurally it is symmetrical. So I'm going D, G, G, A, B, and it's 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's B, G, A, F. B, G, A, F, down to the D. 1, 2, 3. That's up to the F. And then this is an F chord, C in the bottom. So it's D, F, C. And then it goes different. 3, 2, 1. That's A, B, D. So that's C, A, F, C, A, G, and then I do a cut to the second G because it makes the fingering work out. Start D, G, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This is a D, F chord, back to the D, again an F chord, cut. Now the pickup here is an F, here we don't do the cut, and that's the only difference between the beginning and the end of the part. So I find the second part to be very, very easy. It's just arpeggios, but it's kind of impossible if you don't have it in your ear. So I would listen to it a good bit. There's a million recordings of people online playing Dowds, and you can listen through at the beginning of the recording and everything here. But if you kind of know in your head how it goes, then all these arpeggios are really easy to find. If you don't know how it goes, it's so closely repetitive, but a little different that it feels like a tongue twister. So we're going to start G, A, B. So the G was the last note of your other part. And your pickup note is just an A to a downbeat B. Now I'm playing the B with my thumb. It's quite long, so it's okay to play it with the thumb and then come back to the D with the thumb. So 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. So this is a B flat major chord. D, B, F, B, D, B, roll, D, B, and then you switch down to the F. So that's B, roll, F. B again, F again, up the scale to G's. So B, roll, F, B. F up the scale to G's. So that's, and again, you're putting your third finger on the second G because it's going to do the same thing. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. This is a B. That's where it goes different. Lands on the G instead of the B. So that's G, B, A, B, C, B. It's very comfortable. 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2. G, B, A, B, C, B. Up the octave to the B. Put your thumb on the F. F, D, C, A. Now this is kind of an odd juncture here because it ends a little abruptly and jumps up the pickup notes to the third part. So I'm just going to show you how those two parts connect. This is a G minor arpeggio. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then that's the first note of the next part. Okay, so it's just a bunch of pickup notes. So let's do the B part again. You start with let's start from the G that's the end of the previous part. So we've got G, A, B, roll, F chord, B, no roll, up the scale 2 G's, roll, land on the G, triplet, up the octave, thumb on the F, arpeggio. From this top, we're not going to do the pickup notes. It's a whole arpeggio, but just from the G, we've got G, D, roll, G. Thumb on the F. Thumb 2, 1, 2, 1. So that's F, G, A, F, G. You're just circling around the G. Up to the B, thumb on the F, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. This you know. Okay, so that's the same as the part before. Thumb on the F, thumb on the B, arpeggio. Here it goes a different. So let's do just that much again. We go down to the E. Notice my fourth finger on the E. E, F, cut. I think I slide my pointer finger. So two Fs with a cut, and then I'm placing my thumb on the A, and I play the F and the G with my pointer finger. So that's fourth finger on the E, second finger on the F. Place the thumb so you can slide down the octave to the A. So that's A, B, cut A, B, up the octave. And that you know. And we do the cut to go back into the A part. So the whole C part. Up to the B, thumb on the F. G again, thumb on the F, arpeggio, down to the E, cut, place the thumb so you can slide down the octave, up the octave,